What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Me TV Reviews. I am your host, Mo, and tonight, you guys, we're going to be discussing Agatha All Along. That's right, y'all. This is season 1, episode 2, titled Circle Sewn with Fate Unlock Thy Hidden Gate. I hope y'all have had a wonderful weekend thus far. I hope you guys are staying safe however you are celebrating, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead, get into the synopsis real quick, and then we're going to get right into the episode. So the synopsis for this one is: as old enemies pursue them, Agatha and Teen gather a the fact that they put Teen anyway, Agatha and Teen gather a desperate coven of witches to walk the witches' road to get what they need. Now, I forgot to mention that, of course, if you've been hiding under a rock all this time, Agatha All Along is being watched on Disney Plus. Okay. All right, y'all. So we're going to be going segment for segment. So if I forget some minor details, charge it to my head and not my heart. All right. So we start the episode off with Agatha. Of course, she just got her house blown up by old girl, Special Agent Vidal. I still don't know her witch's name, but we'll get there eventually throughout the season. So she's trying to figure out what belongs where and how in the hell she gonna get out of here before the Salem 7 come find her, before the sun goes down. So she's trying to figure all that stuff out, y'all. And Teen is hopping around. He's still got this damn tape on his mouth. And he's trying to tell her something. And he finally gets the tape undone. And he tells her that he wants to go, he wants to walk the road, the witch's road. And so she was like, wait a minute, what? He says, I want to walk the witch's road. And so she asked him what his name is. And when he tries to tell her his name, y'all, his mouth goes like sewn shut. And so she gets closer to him and she asks him to repeat the Popelvor, and it is still sewn shut when he says his name. Now, I don't know if he notices this part or if it's just her still kind of having moments where she's going in and out, but y'all, she don't know this boy name. So she just calls him a teenager because turns out he's 16 years old. Now she tells him that he can't go because it's dangerous. It doesn't exist. And he was like, no, you just telling me that because, they don't want amateurs to go down that road. I guess this is not something that amateur witches need to be trying to do on their own. And so she was like, yeah, no, that's exactly why you're not doing it. He was like, but I'm not a kid. I'm a teenager. I'm 16. Okay. And that's supposed to make it better? Hell no, we're not doing this. So he tells her that he is actually the one who helps her get out of Scarlett's spell that she was stuck in. And so she was like, oh, okay, good for you. So if you were able to do all of that, then why in the world do you need to walk the witch's road in the first place? And he was like, because I need power. So the witch's road is kind of comparable to the Wizard of Oz. Once you make it to the end of the road, you can get what your heart desires, what you need the most is. Okay. So what he needs the most is power. And so she thought about it and she was like, yeah, no, not doing this. Not doing this with you. And so he says, well, whatever you got going on with them people that's supposed to be coming to get you, I'm pretty sure that you can't fight them head up with no power. So I'm assuming that you're going to want to do this too. And so then she thought about it and she was like, he probably got a point. So then, what did she end up asking him? She asked him something else, y'all. And she basically tells him, look, you gonna have to drive. That's it. Oh, he had told her, she didn't ask him something else. He had told her that he had been following her for quite some time. He really admires her. He knows exactly who she is. And his most admirable character that she was, uh, I guess, or what time period she was in was when she was in Salem. So he knows all about her and he really wants to help her get her powers back. And he also wants to get his powers. And so why not let's do this together? So she's like, okay. She she assembled like this little makeshift a front seat with the steering wheel and everything. And she was like, yeah, no. I think she was trying to see if she was going to be able to drive. Y'all, she can't. Okay. So she tell him that he got to drive. Now, as they're driving, we find out that they have to have a coven. Okay. It can't just be the two of them. It's got to be at least three or four of them. And so he was like super excited about it. He was like, oh my goodness, are you going to take me to your coven? And she was like, hell no, they all dust. I couldn't stand them no way. And so they end up stopping at this one psychic place, this tarot card reading place, because apparently she tells him like within a 3-mile radius, everywhere you turn is supposed to be somebody with some sort of ability. Okay, and so I guess you're supposed to do your best to bring it out of them. So when they get there, she don't know if this lady is gonna have the ability or not, but we gonna find out. So when they walk in the store, she's pretending that Teen is her son and that her husband has recently passed away. And although she wants to communicate with him on her son's behalf, she really want to find out where that gold is. Apparently he has stashed some gold bars somewhere. And so I guess to prove now this was supposed to be a made up story, but Agatha went along with it when the lady told her that her husband died on like near doing some golfing or something like that. She was like, yes, he did. He died on the 18th hole. How did you know that? You must be legit. Basically, gaslighting her. And so she then does some rituals. And she finally tells her that the gold bars are hidden somewhere behind the closet. Or they're hidden in the closet somewhere behind a whole bunch of stuff. And so she's like, but that's not why you're really here, because Agatha she was finna get ready to get up, and they were finna get ready to leave because she didn't think that this was gonna be legit. So when she was leaving out, the lady was like, oh, and that's not it, girl. You've been under a spell for about 3 years. Okay, you got cast out. You have no type of agency. And yeah, that's why you're really here. So what's good? So it turns out she does have some powers after all. So then she follows her, and this lady know exactly who she is. She was like, girl, you give witches like me a bad rap, okay? You the reason that people think witches be putting poison in apples and eating babies. And she was like, well, babies are delicious. Magically delicious. And so she says, I'm not going nowhere with you. Agatha was like, girl, I'm walking the witch's road. And she was like, that's a death sentence. And she was like, girl, what else you got waiting on you? I saw that eviction notice that you got outside your door. You coming? Because we need at least 3 or 4. You supposed to be one of them. And so she was like, you really done came up in my shop. You got the audacity to come up in here trying to tell me that I'm supposed to be coming with you to help you. I think they need her because she's got, it's not divinity. It's something else, but it's close to that word. Anyway, y'all. So she's got this specific power that they need to help them kind of navigate the road once they get there. And so, like I said, initially she was like, hell no, I'm not doing that. But then she had ended up getting some type of message from the beyond. And then this caused her to write down some names of some witches that she could go find to help her form her coven. And so when she gave the list to Agatha, she was like, all right, girl, there's your list. Go ahead and leave me the hell alone. I'm done with you. And she was like, girl, no, you not, because your name is on this list. And there it is right up under her name. Her name is Lilia, y'all. You ain't going nowhere. And so then they leave out. And as they're leaving to go find the other names on the list, they gave her the address and told her to be there at 5. So when they're leaving out, of course, Teen is like, oh my goodness, that was so cool. I can't believe all this stuff happened. That's so awesome. Agatha is noticing that this crow or this raven is, just sounding off. And we don't know if this is somebody in the form of a raven or a crow following her, or if this is truly just a raven or a crow. Just happened to be in the wrong place, wrong time. So anyway, they get in the car and we go to the next person. So the next place they go visit is this lady named Jennifer, and she does potions. So when they walk in, y'all, she is selling these candles to these two patrons that are like probiotic candles, so you can like eat them essentially, and then you can still get your zen on. Okay, so I was like, Jennifer, I don't think I would want to eat candle wax though. Wouldn't that like mess you up on the inside? Anywho, so as soon as Agatha and Teen walk in, y'all, she start making jokes about these jade eggs and them going going in on one together. Yeah, they left out. So turns out, y'all, Jennifer has been spellbound for the last century. She has lost her powers because well, no, not because. She lost her powers, y'all. I don't think I got a because just yet. So, anywho, she's been there for a century and she's been trying her damnedest to get back to the witches, although she claims that she ain't really too worried about them. Yeah, it seems like she may want to find something soon because she's got a couple of class action lawsuits against her for some skin injuries. Now, granted, they might be minor injuries, but according to teens, some of them have had to require some skin grafts. So that might land Jennifer in prison for about 5 years. So you spellbound, and then you really finna be like spellbound. So she needs to get out of this jam. She needs her powers back. And according to her, she's tried everything, but Teen says you tried everything except for the witch's road. Okay, we need a potions person to help guide us through this thing. So you in or what, lady? So they leave their card and the information, tell her where to meet them at and what time, and they out the door. Oh, and she stole a jade egg too. No take backsies. So then they end up going to this mall, right? And so the next person, Alice, who they're waiting on, apparently her mom was one of the, like, she was this famous singer, and she was the one that sung the ballad. Well, her mom was also a witch. They called her, what did they call her? A bloodborn witch? Yeah, which means she's basically just the kid of a witch. Okay, so she may or may not have powers, but we'll see. So as they're having their conversation, y'all, Agatha notices that a rat is just kind of like walking by, and she's just feeling the same way that she felt about that damn crow or raven that was up there just chilling. Maybe it's just a harmless creature, or maybe these are the people that are stalking her. So, like I said, we find out that the mom was a famous singer. She sung the ballad, and apparently she lost her life trying to pursue the witch's road. So it looks like Alice works at some type of knockoff Spencer, okay, Spencer store. And so she's just chilling and they're talking, making a little small talk while they're in there. And Teen just doesn't see her going for this type of get up, you know. But what other choice does Alice have at this point? She really ain't got nothing else going for her life, so why not? Again, this kind of puts me in the mind frame of the Wizard of Oz. So, or the Wiz, because I love the Wiz a lot better. Anywho, so she tells him to run, and he was like, wait a minute, what? She said, run, fool, run. So he take off running towards the door, which causes her to go into action because, like I said, she's a security guard. And so she trips him and starts to place him under arrest for shoplifting, making the alarm go off. And so then, of course, Agatha jumps in and says that Alice did all this for no reason. Her son wasn't stealing, da da da. And so Big Boss comes out and was like, hey, man, I tried to work with you off, just off principles because I knew that you was having a hard time at your last job. I was trying to give you opportunity, but nah, bro, you gotta go. You fired, Craig. So she ended up getting fired on the spot, y'all. He didn't give no second breaths to thinking about it. So as she's walking away, Agatha is trying to talk her into coming with them, but she is like, no, it doesn't exist. It's the code, it's this, it's that. And Agatha was like, girl, I made it through. Okay, but you lost all your power. Like I said, it doesn't exist. It's a myth, it's a death trap. Don't do it. If you want to lose your life, go ahead. By all means, but I won't be joining you. And so Agatha ends up asking her, but don't you want to know what happened to mommy? That's the real question, right? And so, y'all, she just ends up storming off. Now, as they get back to the house, first off, Agatha's fashions, I'm telling you, even like in her simple get up with her little hat and her glasses and her little pigtails, y'all, she was cute. But this new get up that she got on with this peacoat, baby, fire. Okay. So she steps outside, right? And she notices that there's this wolf in the middle of the street, just like looking, just searing, just sneering at her, like finna rip her to shreds, y'all. And she do like a really good twirl with her jacket, and she walks right back into the house. She's trying to see if all these witches is gonna come through. Now, Teen has been asking her because he did say that Lilia had wrote down 4 names, which we knew. From what I saw, Agatha was first, Lilia was second, Jennifer was third, and then Alice was fourth. So that makes 4, but I'm confused as to why she's not telling him that she's also on this list. Also, I noticed that when they were headed back to the house, y'all, she was asking him what his background was, like where he's from. And as soon as he started to tell her information, it went like Charlie Brown, like wah, 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 wah. And so she was like snapping her fingers to see if maybe it was her, right? She turned up the volume on the radio. We could hear the radio just fine. And I was like, this is purposeful. Somebody clearly does not want Agatha to know where he is from. So I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing. I don't know what that means. But either way, he seems completely oblivious to this because as soon as he finished telling her the information, we can hear him just fine when he says, it's really good that we're getting to know each other. And I was like, okay, what happened to the altar before? Yeah, somebody's doing this on purpose. I hope this ain't no big setup. So Jennifer and Alice show up. Now, of course, we were kind of thinking that Jennifer was going to show up, but we didn't know about Alice. But she sure does. And despite her not having an address, I mean, she is an ex-cop after all. So it was just a matter of time. Now, Lilia also shows up. And Lilia calls Jennifer High Priestess. And she called Lilia something. Y'all can't remember. Okay. So they exchange pleasantries, but Jennifer basically is looking at Lilia like she is beneath her. Subservient. So they then start to question where this 4th witch is because wasn't there a 4th name on there? Again, Agatha ate the list, and so they're asking Lilia who else was on the list, and she says Hark. Okay. And so she was like, "Oh, you must have been like Dark Heart or something like that." I know exactly who that is in reference to. And so she ends up walking out, right? She goes next door to her neighbor's house. Now her name is Miss Sharon, but Wanda called her Miss Heart, Miss Dark Heart or Black Heart or something like that. So she was like, "Yeah, no, okay, Wanda's not here anymore, but I don't go by that name, okay? My name is Miss Sharon. Sharon, just in case you forgot." And so she's like, "Hey, do you want to come to a party tonight?" This lady is completely unaware of what is happening, but Agatha is bringing her into this plan, this scheme of hers. So she brings the lady back with her, and she ends up telling she tells Teen to stay upstairs and close the door because there's a draft, right, while they do their thing, right? And so Miss Sharon is like, "Okay, so because they're down in the basement at this point, and Miss Sharon is like, "Okay, so are we doing laundry? Like, is this a laundry party? What's happening here?" So then, y'all, they start talking about the ballad, right? Because they're supposed to sing this ballad that's the entryway into conjuring up the witch's road. Now, Teen didn't know this, and he was like, "Okay, so do we have to tell somebody to scoot over in the back seat because we're gonna have to make accommodations?" And she was like, "No, fool, you don't drive to Witch's Road. It's got to be conjured." So she sends him upstairs, and like I said, she told him to close the door because of the draft, and they start to sing the ballad, right? So as they're all starting to chime in on the ballad, y'all, Miss Sharon is looking at them like, "Okay, am I supposed to be singing along to this song?" So while he's upstairs, he ends up finding this rabbit, right? And he steps outside for a second, and he notices that there is this witch standing in the middle of the road in all black. And so Herb was like, "Okay, you see that? Do you see that lady right there? She just standing right there." And then all of a sudden, y'all, she divides into she multiplies into five more people. And so Herb was like, "Oh hell no, I'm out of here, bro. Groceries on the ground. Groceries on the ground. Do you hear me?" That's how fast he got out of there. I was like, "Yeah, Herb is not a witch. He's not a warlock, okay? He don't know none of this stuff." He just an innocent bystander. Get in the house and close the door. So, Teen ends up running back into the house, right? And he's screaming for Agatha. So he hurries up and locks the door. He tries to close all the curtains, this, that, and the third. And he even moves the couch in front of the door, right? And so as all of that is happening, he sits down on this like little love seat next to this window, and he notices that there is smoke coming from up under the door through a crack. And then all of a sudden, one of the witches busts through the window. And so, of course, he takes off for Agatha. By this time, y'all, they have almost finished the song. Alice is getting emotional because she's probably starting to think about her mom at this point. And Miss Sharon is still looking confused, but she's getting into it, okay? She's actually delighted at this point. So they're all singing, it's a pretty ballad, and they finish. And Agatha is like, "Okay, yeah, it didn't take this long for something to pop up last time." And so she starts talking cash money to them about how they're beneath her. They're not really a coven. They're just beneath her. Y'all are never going to be good witches. I don't know what I was thinking. Y'all are awful, miserable. Are there any real witches here? Because hello, where your powers at? So she's starting to notice that their energy is starting to fester. And so she wants this to happen because she wants one of them to zap her with their powers so she can have some source of power. And I forgot to mention that that's what Lilia had told her earlier. She was like, "Girl, I'm not finna go nowhere with you just so we can get to the end of the road and you can steal my powers." And she was like, "Let me fill you in on a secret. I can't steal your powers if you don't zap me with them first." So Lilia figured it out and she was like, "No, is this what you brought us here for? So you could steal all our powers?" And then by this time they look down on the floor and there's this door that has magically appeared. So as they're helping her open up this door, y'all, here come Teen. I don't know what happened to the rabbit, y'all. He got rid of the rabbit. But Teen come running down the door and he was like, down the steps, and he was like, "Hey, so if this is the witch's road, we need to go like right now." And so he's the first one to enter, and then they hear what's happening upstairs, and they was like, "Nah, we coming too." Even Miss Sharon was like, "Yeah, no, I don't want down parts of what's going on upstairs, so I'm coming too." So it seems like Agatha gets the door closed just in time as the first witch is starting to grudge her way down the steps. So she gets down there, and I mean, it just looks like a forest. Okay, it's lined with like the road is lined with these blue leaves. They're very beautiful. I mean, it's really nice. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a terrifying adventure. There is a proverbial light at the end of the tunnel. You can see it off in the far, far distance. I don't know how long it's going to take them to get there, but it's there. And I don't know what's going to happen to Miss Sharon because Miss Sharon is an innocent bystander in all of this. She has no powers, but hopefully she can collect some on the way. She can incur some on the way. I don't know what's going to happen to Miss Sharon, y'all. I just hope she make it out. And I hope Teen does too. And I hope that this ain't a part of some bigger setup. But he seems to be in it for Agatha. I just hope that he's not being used as part of a spell to lure her into something. And so once they get down there, she was like, "See, I never doubted y'all. I had faith in y'all the entire time." And so then they all start to remove their shoes and we see them start to walk the path. And that's the way the episode ends, y'all. It was a really good episode. Oh, and by the way, the door was sealed shut. So they can't turn back. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it, okay? You can reach me at Me and You TV Reviews on Facebook and on Instagram. You can also reach me at My TV Reviews Podcast without the S on the end at gmail.com. Y'all, I am so sorry that I don't have all the terminology down for this. Y'all probably just like, "Oh, Mo, get it together." But y'all, I don't usually watch these type of shows, but I am enjoying this show, okay? But if you guys have any other show suggestions, let me know. Okay, y'all know where to reach me. If y'all got some throwbacks, we can do them too. Okay? That's all I have for now. So until we meet over the airwaves again, I am Mo and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.